So, Insomnia. We're on Nolan number 3. You were spared following.
Yeah.
Maybe watch it in your free time, but it's not great. I think
It's not
Mike
worth
and
it.
I spent about 25 minutes on it, and that was that podcast all done.
Didn't you say it was only like an hour and a half?
Yeah, it's like an hour. Yeah, hour 10, I think it was.
That's barely even a movie then.
It is barely.
It's like a
movie.
special.
Yeah. This, however, he's moving up in the world. Gets Memento done. That gives you some street cred, right?
Yeah.
And then Insomnia, big cast. Yeah, Hilary Swank. I don't know when $1 Million Baby was.
Al
That's probably
Pacino.
way later. Yeah, you get Al Pacino.
I swear I know that the fucking partner from something. We were watching it and I was like, I don't know what he's from.
Undoubtedly, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck he's from, but I recognize him.
Yeah. Yeah, decent cast. Yeah, and who could forget Robin Williams?
Yeah, that was. When I saw it, I was like, that's not Rob.
That's not right.
Plays a pretty good villain, surprisingly.
Yeah. So did you like this movie?
It was good. It was all right.
Would you seek it out again to watch?
I mean, if it was like, if I saw it on like HBO and I was bored and I had nothing to watch, I might throw it on. But like, I'm not gonna watch it like intensely.
Yeah.
I'll have it on if like I'll be on my phone or something. But honestly, even then, I'd probably turn something else on. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if you're on HBO, then it's.
Well, I just mean like streaming
friends.
service.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like if I'm like, fuck it, I'll throw this on.
I would say that
Like if my friend was like, "Hey, should I watch this?" Like, yeah, watch it.
once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, "What'd you think?"
Yeah.
I'll be like, "This is all right, right?" You know.
What would you think the Rotten Tomatoes critic score?
Oh, I bet you they were all. It was high as fuck. Cause I bet you it was all like, "Oh, Robin Williams, he's such a he's a bad guy, crazy." Al Pacino. It probably sucked its dick, like 94.
Pretty close, 92. Here's the thing with Rotten Tomatoes. I think sometimes it's a in real time thing,
Yeah.
and so I think whatever it was at the time kind of gets lost, and I think a lot of times it's a retroactive percentage.
Yeah.
Because when I started looking at reviews, I didn't even leave the reviews pulled up this time. I was just kind of like, because I couldn't find like bad ones on these Nolan movies. Like I feel like everybody, especially with following, when we were doing that, everybody kind of retroactively goes back and goes, oh well, I mean it was so, like they find all these good things to say about it.
Yeah.
And
It doesn't do anything special.
no, it's very
Like Memento was different because of the way they told the story.
Downs. Yeah, like there's flow, there's dynamics to
And it had just like this dark feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know, like it had that shitty, gritty '90s feeling to a movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like that early 2000s feel, like how like I don't know, the movies just felt like everything felt like grim.
They felt
I don't know,
There's
like how
very-
Seven feels,
yeah.
if that makes any sense. Like it's
Sure.
just like it just feels dark. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I wrote out my likes, dislikes. I liked the length because, like, for a Nolan movie, it's very short.
Yeah.
I feel like this movie took a step back from Memento, but honestly, I feel like you could blame the story. This is, like, I think the only time that him or his brother did not collaborate on a script that he made. This was written by Hilary Seitz.
I wish they
might have
would have
written down
focused more
that
on
down.
the Insomnia stuff. Like I like
Yeah, I
the
mean, you
parts
only
where
called
he's
it Insomnia, so like, you
Yeah.
should probably, yeah.
it's like
It
he
wasn't until
wasn't
the end.
acting that tired.
Yeah, it wasn't
honestly.
until the end that he got, real loopy.
Yeah, like where he spins the car off the road.
Yeah.
Like it should have been most of the movie.
I mean, that should have happened like 25 minutes in, honestly. Like once.
Yeah, 2 days into not sleeping, that's a long time.
It is.
As someone who's been up for like days on end.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird.
You start getting delirious.
Right.
Like, you start seeing shit like,
Yeah.
I see that now. But, yeah, and then, I don't know, I thought there were going to be more scenes where it was like he was going to be, like, saying shit he should have been saying.
Right. And then not remembering it. What are you talking about?
Or scenes that didn't even happen, but they're all just in his head or something. Like, it didn't really seem like it. It just seemed like it was a cop movie.
Yeah.
And he was stressed. Like,
honestly,
it's almost like Pacino's too cool to get that strung out.
Yeah.
You know? Like, you can't let him be, like, losing his shit like that, I guess.
Right. I feel like it was kind of a, like, if you give a mouse a cookie story about lying.
Yeah.
Like, most of what happened in the story just felt like a lesson in don't lie.
Yeah. But even then, there's not a lot of like, he dies at the end, but, like, I don't know, he keeps getting away with stuff.
Like, it just, the more I watched, because, I watched it once a couple weeks ago. I watched it before you and I watched it, and then I obviously watched it when you and I watched it. And every time it just felt like it drove home more and more. And I was, like, looking for other stuff in the story.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like it just kept wanting to go, like, well, you shouldn't lie. Like, it just felt very focused on the fact that it all went back to this first time where he did a thing.
Yeah.
Where he planted the evidence to get that pedophile guy in jail, which, like, there's worse things you can do in life.
Definitely. Yeah.
Right. But, and then he lies about, killing Hap, which, like, no one can really blame you in the first place for shooting the wrong guy by accident in the fog.
In the fog, yeah. Well,
so even if you did do it,
and the dude was
intentionally-
shooting at you too,
right? So somehow I feel like you could work it out.
Yeah.
Even if inside that you did it.
Well, also that movie just felt like if he just was like, "Hey, my bad, guys. I shot him."
Yeah.
It just all right.
And I guess, like, is that part of the insomnia? The fact that,
Yeah.
he didn't just do the sensible thing and just say.
By then he didn't really have insomnia, right?
Yeah, I mean,
it was
only
because
been,
he
like,
shot
a day.
him, right?
Right.
That made him like.
Yeah, that added to the delirium of the whole thing. So, I don't know. It just felt very...
It's a very, like, C- movie.
I'd say so. It's probably...
Maybe a C. I can't give it a C+.
Yeah. Well, no, I wasn't arguing with your rating. I was just thinking about, like, the movies of his I've watched. And I would put Following at the bottom because it just... I feel like there's... Honestly, you should give Following a watch just to... It's black and white because black and white film's cheaper.
Yeah.
And then they have the low budget, and it's almost like I would love to see that movie with budget by him.
Yeah.
Because it's not a terrible story.
Yeah, I mean, a $6,000 budget.
Yeah.
Gonna do so much.
I'd put Following at the bottom, and then I'd put this, and then, I mean, I'd have to watch all the Nolan movies to start ranking them from the bottom up.
Yeah.
Completely. But this and Following are down at the bottom for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you rank Memento was definitely better out of those two movies.
It's yeah.
Like, it's not even. Yeah, he definitely takes a little step back. And then his next one begins. Batman Begins. So he got his shit together.
Yeah.
If that's his next one.
Yeah. Score wise in this movie.
Nope.
Did not nail it. And, like,
I hated when it felt like an Avengers movie. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun,
right.
dun. It's like, all right, this is a crime movie,
Like, they
dude.
did not. It was just flatline the whole time, like, as far as, like, vibe. Like, we didn't go up or down. We were just right here.
Yeah, well, and then, I don't know, just scenes where they were going to a scene, like a crime scene. It was just like, this music feels like it should be in, like, Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Like, this is weird.
Yeah. He really didn't master scores until Batman.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, even then,
Memento was like, Memento is obviously hands down the better movie, but
I don't really remember the score. Remember the beginning.
This Memento and Following all, like, picked a type of sound, and then just stuck with it the whole time and just did like kind of variations of the same type of sound.
Yeah.
And that to me wasn't the best.
I mean, honestly, his scores aren't even that like insane, and I mean,
no.
Oppenheimer is very good.
Yeah.
That score is good, but like Inception, it's a good score, but like I feel like it's one of them. It's like the Inception score. Oh, it's like it's all right.
I feel like
the movie itself is what makes it. The score it elevates what the score is. You know what I mean?
Well, and I feel like so much with music in a movie is where you don't use it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I feel like there were times where they're using music in this movie where
they're just like talking.
It almost ruins it a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, like there shouldn't be music when people are talking about the case or
yeah, especially when it's not a like pivotal kind of moment.
Yeah.
Perfect example is a little outside of this conversation as a whole, but a couple weekends ago we're on Paramount looking at comedies, and then sitting with Bree, so I was like, hey, Pretty in Pink, you want to do this? And so we're watching that. Well, the start of that movie, the daughter's in her father's room and they're talking just about like what he's doing that day, what the hell ever.
Yeah.
What it is doesn't matter. There's like this this type of like upbeat 80s type song going on as she's talking to him, and you're like, oh, what's gonna happen? And then she just leaves the room to make breakfast, and like that's like the whole thing, so like perfect example,
like
of,
Mr. Sunshine's playing, like
yeah, like just let them talk. Yeah, you don't need music, you don't need a soundtrack here,
Yeah. I don't know why movies like there's a lot of scenes in not following Insomnia where they're just like it's like they're talking about the case, or like they're just driving somewhere and it's like dun 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 dun. It's like they're going to fucking get breakfast right now and talk about like this isn't. They don't need music here. Like when you put music in, like at pivotal scenes, like to like something's gonna happen, or something sad just happened, not just it's nothing going. Let's throw some fucking music on. I don't know.
Fuck it.
Yeah, it's kind of how it feels. Fuck it. Why not? It's Al Pacino.
Yeah. So, bad summary. I have a lazy bad summary, and I call it a lazy bad summary because I feel like you could just do this with any movie that Pacino is in where he's old.
Yeah.
Michael Corleone takes up detective work late in life. Just because there's no like end date on when Michael Corleone dies in Godfather 3, and so you could just say like, oh well, it was 2028, whatever. So anyway, so that's a lazy one. I do have a real one. I said Alaskan Young Writers Mentorship Program in the halibut fishing capital of the world. Like that's just
I didn't do one, but I guess a quick one would be Mrs. Doubtfire. What happened? I don't know. Goodwill Hunting. Oh no, what happened?
Mrs. Doubtfire moves to Alaska. Take up writing.
Mrs. Doubtfire moves to Alaska. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Bad trailer. Man can't sleep, and because of this, he kills his partner over a stain on his fuck. I wrote it down in the wrong order, and anyway. Man gets stain on his shirt sleeve, can't sleep over it, kills partner over it.
You could do a bad trailer, just Al Pacino just can't sleep, and he just talks to Robin Williams. They're just best buddies. Because
my thing was like, if you take the cut, I kind of forgot I was reading a trailer and not a summary, and so that was why it was written out of order, because those are my cues to spit out the trailer. But over and over you have the stain on the shirt and the wiping and everything, which out of context you don't realize he's got like rubber gloves on, and that's what's rubbing. Like you thought, in my mind, you see the guy in the room doing this, I thought a dude was like bandaged and like tied to a chair or something. Like I didn't know what the hell visually that was. I couldn't really tell.
Yeah, I couldn't either. Yeah.
But anyway, if you just have that scene of him like rubbing over and over again, and then he can't sleep, and he's you just keep showing the shirt sleeve, and then all of a sudden he kills Hap, and then you have them kind of like fighting, talking wise, and I don't know, it could work.
No, that could work. Yeah, just because Hap gave him the stain.
Yeah,
he shoots him. Yeah, you could also just do Al Pacino has insomnia and he confides in Robin Williams. Just act like Robin Williams is his therapist or something. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, back to Good Will Hunting, right?
Al Pacino fucking shoots a dog, and they act like that's what's making him can't that's why he can't sleep.
Yeah. Bad casting. I said so. When I do bad casting, I try to pick movies from the same year. So Gangs of New York was also in 2002. So I picked Cameron Diaz to be Ellie because I think Cameron Diaz would ruin this completely.
Yeah, that would throw me. That would take me out of it if I saw Cameron Diaz.
I don't know Cameron Diaz's like full filmography.
Like she could be
I think
good.
There's no way that she plays a good like young spunky cop.
Even if she did play it well, it'd take me out of it.
Yeah,
because it's Cameron Diaz,
and she's just not good enough of an actor. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like you have to be.
And the actor who played the cop, anyways, wasn't even that good.
And that's why that's why people consider get people like Leo and other actors to be so good because even though they are so famous, like The Rock takes you out of whatever the hell he's supposed to be.
It's also because The Rock just sucks.
And he's a terrible actor. He's a terrible actor. I love the guy.
Like the only good movie you've seen Pain and Gain, right?
I don't know if I've seen
that's the only movie where he's not acting like The Rock. He acts like a fucking degenerate cokehead, steroid junkie. And it's based on a true story. It's a Bay movie. So it just has, of course, everyone in a Michael Bay movie is an asshole. So he's just playing this cokehead asshole. And he honestly does a really good job. It's the only movie where I'm like, this doesn't, The Rock doesn't suck ass in this movie.
Yeah.
Because I hate The Rock, honestly, in movies.
Yeah.
Like, I fucking hate him in the Fast and Furious movies. I don't think it's that cool.
That was the worst choice. They needed
and then him and Vin Diesel were so fucking, you can't punch me more time. They're so fucking gay about that. We're getting off topic, but I hate all that shit.
Yeah. Anyway, that's why certain people, and I don't know, Pacino, I feel like lost it because I feel like he was that way early in his career, and then you got past Scarface and got into the 90s, and it was just like, and 90s and on, and you were like, oh, you're just old Al Pacino now. Like
he's phoning it in.
You yell! He's got that gruffness to him. But
he definitely starts to phone it in after Scarface.
Yeah.
He probably made so much money. It's like,
yeah. Not to say he wasn't in good movies, but like most things you watch, you just go like, you're Al Pacino.
Yeah, he doesn't. There's no performances where you're like, oh, he was great in this. Yeah. After Scarface.
Yeah. There's things where he was less meh.
Yeah, because in this he feels very meh.
Yeah.
I don't know, the way he talks, it's so cliche.
It was almost like he had insomnia. you know, like where he's just going, yeah. You're doing your job. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Like, he was very impartial.
Yeah. And I don't know, I don't know, the way he played, he just seemed like cliche. It's the way he said every line. Oh, I'm the cop. I know everything. I'm so smart. Yeah. I don't know. It felt like a very cliche character.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, Cameron Diaz is Ellie. All About the Benjamins was in 2002. That's a movie with Ice Cube and Mike Epps. So I'm going to use that for both the next two characters.
Ice Cube is Robin Williams or Scarface? Or not Scarface.
He's Will Dorman. Yeah, he's Will Dorman. Because I think Ice Cube... Again, I like Ice Cube. I just don't think he's a good actor.
Okay, he just plays Ice Cube.
Right. And then Mike Epps will be Hap, right?
Yeah.
Which works,
I can't. That's be so fucking dumb.
Yeah. And then collateral damage is that year also. So Arnold
Ice Cube
is going to be.
I didn't kill no girl. I loved her.
So collateral damage was that year as well. So Arnold's going to be Robin Williams' character.
Yeah.
So anyway,
sorry, it's just so dumb.
Yeah.
Ice Cube.
All right, so talking points. We did cover a lot already in our likes and dislikes, but I'd say he definitely Will Dormer or Pacino. He definitely wants to get caught, right? Like just the way he reminds her, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. At that point, kind of seems like he just wants it to be over.
Like he wants to still put away the serial killer, and so he's like kind of doing this elusive act of, like, because he keeps telling her, "Hey, make sure you check over every detail. Hey, your name's gone on this report. Make sure you got everything right."
Yeah.
And then he just kind of like, "Okay, you do that now. I'm gonna leave."
Yeah, but it also could just be like a moral thing. It's like, hey, at least I'm lying about it, but I'm also like, hey, make sure, like he's trying to like tell her like, make sure I didn't do it. Make sure everything's good. So when she does like catch him, he can be like, I told you.
Hey, look at you. You
did it.
Out.
Yeah. It could be that.
Yeah.
But it also just could be, he's not sleeping and he's probably just like, take it over again, Like, I kind of want this shit to be over. If I get caught, I get caught. And, he's at that point in the movie where he's like, I don't even know if I shot him on purpose or not. And I don't think he did. Honest, I don't think he shot him on purpose.
Well, that is the big question. Obviously the next question.
Yeah.
Do
you think he shot him on purpose?
My answer was he's not exactly upset when he sees that he shot Hap, but he's kind of got this blank expression, right? Which obviously could be shock. And it obviously looks like an accident, so I don't really understand why he doesn't just come clean in the first place.
Yeah.
To avoid it. And again, this is where I think the movie sort of really heavy-handed well, you tell one lie and then it leads to another one and it leads to another one. Like,
yeah,
that was just such a like prominent theme in this that I felt like they were trying to drive home, because like everything went back to this like, oh, well, the killer, he's got you now because you lied. Like, they really said it without saying it to me, and and that's another thing that just kind of ruined the movie for me.
Yeah,
was it just felt like they were trying to
don't
teach
lie.
you a lesson. No, I do not think he shot Hap on purpose.
And also, there's a big difference in lying to put a pedophile away than lying about murdering your partner on accident.
Yeah,
it's very different. Like, I don't see how like lying about killing or planting evidence would lead to you being like, yeah, I'm gonna lie, but accidentally shoot my partner.
Yeah,
that doesn't correlate.
Yeah, I guess it was the internal affairs thing, but like, because I think why he lied, I understand.
Yeah, he thought it would have looked bad.
Yeah,
I mean, I get it, but basically, if his character just wasn't a dipshit, the whole movie wouldn't have happened.
Yeah,
that's what it relies on. And it is also funny that whole movie doesn't happen if that guy doesn't fuck up with a megaphone.
Yeah,
they just catch him and it's over.
Right. Like, oh, look at that, Robin Williams, we got him.
Yeah,
He's
got him. It's over. Yeah, Hap doesn't die. Like,
yeah, it's so easy. Yeah,
I wonder if they did that. I mean, that whole movie seems like it's just like trying to also like portray like the butterfly effect.
Yeah,
of things, with him planting the evidence that leads to the Hap stuff. Mm-hmm. The megaphone's like the butterfly effect. Yeah, there's all this shit happening.
Right. Yeah, okay, and we kind of answered he definitely wants to get caught. Talked about why. And Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. There's not a ton to talk about because this is a very like un-Nolan-y movie for being a Nolan movie. You know.
Yeah.
The only other talking point I had was, remember that time Robin Williams played a child murderer?
Yeah.
Because like didn't remember that happened. You know. So I mean.
Yeah, you'd think. Well, that was part of the reason I was so surprised when I saw him. I was like, wait, so there was a movie where Al Pacino was a cop and Robin Williams was a serial killer, and I've never fucking heard of this?
Well, he only killed one.
Okay, whatever.
No, I know.
You know what I mean? He was like killer.
Yeah.
Like, that's how have you not heard of that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Christopher Nolan's the director. You're like, oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah. I'm like,
and you watch
it. Out.
It's a very middle of the road. Like I said, it's if we were still in the cable box days, flipping through the channels. Yeah, I'll leave it on.
Yeah, let's finish Insomnia.
You know, it feels like a movie like Clyde would have been watching, and I wanted to change the channel, and whenever I did, I'm watching that.
Well,
you know,
it seems like one of those movies you'd flip past and you go like, oh, here's the thing, TV, the streaming era has had a profound. This is just like a half-baked theory I have.
No, okay, yeah,
but the streaming, the access we have to movies just so readily available now, I feel like has killed movies a lot.
Yeah,
like just the overall perception. Because you actually watch them all the way through, and you're like, oh, well, that kind of sucked. Whereas you'd find one on TV, and
you'd see like the end.
You'd see Insomnia on television, right? And you'd come in and Will Dormer, Al Pacino, right? He's dying in the last scene, and there's Hilary Swank, and you're like, man, some crazy stuff must have happened.
Or you're just
Insomnia, good movie.
Yeah,
you know.
Or you just watch the last 20 minutes where he's driving and he spins out. You're like, oh, what's going on? And then you see Robin Williams fucking hit. What's her name? The actress.
Hilary Swank.
Yeah, you just said it. I forgot.
Or Ellie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, Robin Williams hits Ellie. Like, oh my God, what's going on here?
Robin Williams?
Then they're in a shootout.
Just hit him?
Yeah.
You're
like, fucking awesome. Yeah. Like, I need to watch the rest of this, Right. And you never do, and you just have the opinion that movie's
like, Insomnia's
fucking great. Yeah.
Christopher Nolan, some of his best work.
Because, I mean, the ending's pretty. Yeah, if I just watched the ending of that movie, I'd be like, yeah, I want to see the rest of that.
Yeah.
Then you see the rest of it, and you're like, oh, this fucking sucks.
Or you'd be flipping, and you catch it, like, in the middle there.
Yeah.
Where he's, like, stuck under the logs, and he's trying to swim out, and you're like, and then you gotta leave or something, and you're just like, wow, I gotta check out that Insomnia movie. I mean, that looks like some wild stuff going on.
Yeah, no, I mean, that movie, if you flip through it you get to that like log scene, you have to leave, and then you flip through it again. You're like, oh, it's back up. And you just get the ending. Yeah. You're like, dude, that movie, I need to see all of it.
Insomnia, I'm telling you.
We gotta watch it all one day. Like, I've seen about an hour of it. It's fucking great.
Telling you.
Yeah, as you said, the length was good. Honestly, they could probably trim that movie a little bit.
Oh, very much could trim that movie, yeah.
Like, yeah, there's pieces there to make that movie good. Like, a lot better.
Fix the soundtrack.
Cut the length. Make Pacino a little more interesting.
Yeah, get a better effort out of Pacino. Do you recast it?
Yeah.
Yeah, who you put as Pacino's character? Not in a bad cast as we.
No,
not Ice Cube.
I mean, early 2000s. I mean, there's so many. Like, I mean, Pitt, Leo, all those dudes were all fucking. They're all young.
Right.
I mean, that's a fucking role Edward Norton could have played. I think. Grizzled.
Focus on the Insomnia more.
Yeah, well, I kind of said that because of Fight Club, because he's an insomniac.
Sure.
In that, I mean, he played a great insomniac. I don't know.
Well, yeah.
But I guess it would kind of be weird for Norton to just keep playing
Insomnia.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is Fight Club 2, Cop Edition.
Yeah, or this time.
Fight Club 2, Murder in Alaska.
Oh, they just go with Morgan Freeman, basically just black Al Pacino.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
He's just playing a Morgan Freeman.
But then he's like, cracked out version of
Seven.
Dude from Seven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a Seven guy, just unhinged.
In Alaska. 7-2.
7-2.
Wait, 72? What is this movie? I don't understand.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, TV's definitely changed, like, just flipping through stuff. Because, yeah, that would be crazy flipping, like, whoa,
oh, hey.
Al Pacino, Robin Williams?
Is that the girl from $1 Million Baby?
Yeah.
I gotta come back to this movie. I bet she does great in this movie.
Like, I do miss Cable for that reason a little bit. Because, yeah, this is the movie that's, like, you throw on, like you flipping the channels and you leave it on. This isn't, like, a movie you ever watch again.
Yeah.
Because, like, you want to.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I will not be pursuing this movie.
Yeah, I'm not going to buy the DVD. I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on Peacock? I better get Peacock now.
Shit.
Like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, if any of my friends ever, dude, you ever seen Insomnia? That movie's amazing. I'd be like,
It's not.
Never want to watch a movie with you ever.
Yeah. It is funny, like, the movie, because I'll watch.
Now that I think about it, this is like a D+. I really think it's not a good movie.
Yeah.
I was really bored a lot of the time when we were watching it.
Yeah.
I was on my phone.
I can immediately tell how you feel about a movie because you're like very expressive in your body language when watching something.
Yeah.
Like you just like you squirm a lot and you just like a lot of sighing. And I'm just like, oh, Luke doesn't like this movie.
Am I really that expressive?
Oh yeah. You can immediately tell how you feel about anything, like just in your face a lot of the time, because you just be like, you're just like you have this like, oh fuck, kill me, like in your face, and you're not enjoying yourself.
Yeah, I enjoy Memento.
Memento's fun.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, there was time I kept dropping my phone. It was just because I was like moving a lot on the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's I mean, dude. At the ending, I literally came into your room and started talking to you.
Like, no. You're like, you're gonna miss it. And he's like,
okay. I was more interested in the sign. Like I was like, yeah, this is the climax.
Right? Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, is it happening?
It's like, yeah. Well, like, I knew it was gonna happen too. Like I kind of felt like he was gonna die. Robin Williams was either gonna die or get caught. Like. It wasn't too like,
yeah, there was nothing like, oh my god, really?
Yeah, like there's no Nolan twist or anything.
Right. And yeah.
I'm curious. Have you seen Oppenheimer?
Yeah.
What do you think of it? I mean, this isn't an Oppenheimer podcast, but like,
I mean, it was a good movie.
Yeah, it's done. And
I guess
I'm a history buff, so I love it.
I guess I didn't know what to expect because there is so much focus on like the nuke, you know? And so, I guess I didn't know what to expect. You know, obviously, I mean, like I'm not as like history fluent as you.
Yeah.
And so, like, I didn't know Oppenheimer had gotten in trouble.
Yeah, they were
for everything.
They persecuted
him, nail him,
yeah,
and all that. So, you know, I had no idea. It was all news to me. So, you know, it's an interesting.
I liked it. I just thought it dragged a little bit. 3
Very
hours
long.
is just too much for a movie, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think you cap out at 2.5, and if you hit 2.5, you get a sequel.
Yeah. I think there's only, like, Endgame.
Could have been
I was
great
fine
series.
with, like, Endgame being 3 hours, because it's like, yeah, you're wrapping up, like, Marvel Universe.
In my opinion, you go over 2.5, then seems like it's time for a series. You know, where you just go like, hey, like,
no, Oppenheimer would have been a really good, like, 10 episode.
Oppenheimer better in 8 episodes of like an hour each? I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
like,
probably right.
Let's do 3 episodes and let's go to bed and let's go do a couple more tomorrow, a couple more the next day, whatever.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because no, when it got to the stuff that I was honestly, like, when I watched it again, like, when it got to the stuff with him, like, in the trial, trial, like, when they were, like, persecuting him, that was the interesting stuff.
Yeah.
But the first time I watched it, I just had to piss. So I was like, I don't care. I want this movie to end, you know? But the second time I watched it, I was able to pause and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, I really enjoyed that stuff. Like, yeah, it was just like, get 3 hours. Like, I gotta go to the bathroom. Like, I've been sitting here for too long. Like, but yeah, this isn't an Oppenheimer pod. Yeah. I was just curious.
Well, I mean, it's, you know, we're covering all the Nolan, so
Oppenheimer's not a classic Nolan because it's a history movie, so he can't like throw in twists. You know,
Turns out
he nuked Germany. What?
Oppenheimer's gay. And you're like, wait, hold on.
Wait, what?
Our communist.
Harry Truman and Oppenheimer were secretly gay together.
For communism. Like, I don't know, I mean, that makes sense, I guess.
Oppenheimer was a secret spy. Super secret agent spy.
He was the... Oh, fuck. What was that family? What was the spy family? They got killed.
Which one? The historical?
Yeah.
The spy family.
Yeah, you know, they got accused of espionage, and then they, like, fucking killed the
Oh, what, in the 50s?
I think so.
I know. I know that story. I don't know what the family name
like,
is.
He's their cousin.
Yeah.
Like, what? Yeah.
There's no way to throw a twist. Honestly, the twist in that movie was like, that's fucking Josh Peck. It's like, what's he doing here?
I mean, although he still tells it in that Nolan way of like,
oh yeah,
where he goes like in the end, because you think Robert Downey Jr.'s character the whole time. If you don't know the story,
yeah,
you know, like me,
I didn't know as much about that guy. That I learned.
Yeah,
a lot.
like I thought he was like gonna be on their side the whole time. And then it turns out like, oh,
he kind
of sucks.
Yeah, he was a bitter little bitch about how he thought he's like talk shit to Einstein about him.
Did Oppenheimer make them all laugh at you?
Oh, Einstein didn't like you.
Yeah.
Like, Einstein was a fucking weirdo. Whatever.
Yeah. Anyway, wouldn't rate Insomnia.
Yeah, it
very
shows
well.
how good this movie is. We've been talking about Oppenheimer now.
Yeah. This will be I'll probably cut some stuff. It'll be a short one.
That's fine. We got off topic a few times.
We're working our way through the Nolans, and I think Batman Begins is next, if I am remembering the order of everything correctly. So
that'll be fun to talk about.
Yes, that'll be fun.
And I
finally gets a hold of the score, so it'll be good.
And then we get to talk about Batman too. That's
so we're going to talk about Batman,
yeah.
And you can tell me about the.
You can nerd out.
Yeah. So, but anyway, I think Sopranos is next because it's going to be Mob March. So
okay,
I think we get season 1 in next month, hopefully.
You want to start? I mean,
well, it's not like talk about our plans, but like in depth. But anyway, thank you for listening or watching. Subscribe, all that horseshit. Content Crisis, Twitter, Instagram, yada yada. Bye.